independent thinkers like that, I come home.
David, you did good. Now can we kind of explain how we're going to do this?
Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay, we're going to take a written question first, after Mr. Mussop makes his statement. And then we're going to take one from the floor. Anyone that wants to make a statement from the floor, please line up. There are Boaz has a line over there with a mic. I have one. Denise, two over. Daniel's way over there somewhere. I can't see that far. However, be patient. We won't be able to get to all the questions. We'll certainly try and ask as many as possible. And we're keeping them, and you can contact our office if you do not get your question answered. Now, I know that the health care issue has been taken care of already. Congressman took care of that,
no,
right?
you were not allowed to stand up.
Questions about
There was no line. He chose people at random when he noticed their hands up.
Question answered sometime through this town hall. While we are gathering together, could we remember to ask if there are any veterans in this room at all? Please stand up and come on.
All right.
Thank you for your service, every one of you, and the police officers. Thank you for your service. Okay. The first question I'm going to ask is, what do you think is the most important thing we should be aware of in the coming year with regard to how the federal government and/or the state of the nation may affect our daily lives as families as we take care of and raise our children and so forth?
Boy, I haven't the slightest idea. You know, it is a hard question because there are so many things that challenge us. There are usually three main areas that are concerned to the country. That's national defense, that's our social policy, and that's our economic policy. I'm very concerned about the economic direction of the country, as I've already said. I think that the American military have done a fabulous job of defending us, like we've already said today, and I'm grateful to all of you. And some of the social policy, we forget that what it's really all about. These founding fathers came up with this notion that we hold certain truths to be self-evident, that we're all created, and that's what makes us equal. And if we will make sure that we treat our fellow human beings as a child of God and try to protect their constitutional rights and their lives and their liberties and their pursuit of happiness, we'll be going in the right direction. Right now, I see a lot of those issues challenged on a lot of different fronts. I will say to you again, it's not a slam to anyone, but I see we're being attacked on many different fronts. From the outside, Iran is enriching nuclear material every day. On the inside, our economics are going to pieces, and we've got judges more and more that are meant to be the guardians of the Constitution that are starting to be the greatest danger to it. So, we've got a lot of time.
With our questions from the floor over there with Boaz.
Senator Franks, Judy Harper here, Jack Harper's mother. We pay $450 a month for our health insurance before we see any of our money. We have a $524 deductible. Then we have a $2,400 out of pocket before our insurance starts paying 80/20. Will this plan do anything for us? Are there any parts of this plan that you like? Do Republicans have any part in setting up or drafting this plan, or is it all the Democrats?
Well, the Republicans do have an alternative plan to Mr. Obama's health care bill. Just so you know, and I don't want to overemphasize it, but this is the Obama bill right here. If you look at it, these are 8.5 by 11, and it's a big bill. It's about a 1,000-page bill. And the only way that we could even read it was to break it up among staff and have each one of them give us the clearest clearest meaning that they could on the entire bill. So that bill is not something that Republicans have had any kind of opportunity to amend or debate. We've tried, and all of our amendments have either been disallowed to even be voted on, or they've been voted down. So there's really no Republican fingerprints on this one at all. And you asked the question, but there is a Republican alternative. There are three of them. I've actually co-signed or co-sponsored all three of them. But they're entirely based in trying to create an empowered individual and not to empower the government. You see, the Founding Fathers, they did something that was pretty unique in this whole history. They chained down government and empowered the individual. Well, that's different than most countries do. But this bill does exactly the opposite. It chains down the people and empowers the government, and I want to make sure that the Republican advantage, or the Republican alternative, is one that is based on freedom. And we can talk about the specifics of that if you like. But to answer your question, no, this bill is a Democrat bill. We do have three alternative Republican bills that have never seen a chance to be debated or voted on.
The next question I'm combining, we have a lot of questions on illegal immigration, so I'd like you to discuss that a little bit. But one of the specific questions that I'd like you to consider answering is, where do you stand on giving Social Security and medical care and other benefits to illegal aliens? But we do need to discuss the situation with the border and other factors involving illegal immigration, if you would.
Well, there's several questions there. I believe, try to take the last one first. The border security is not just about illegal immigration. It is about that, but it's also about national security, because you just saw some of the challenges. Some of the challenges that we face there. Somebody said that the best way to get a nuclear weapon into America is to hide it in a bale of marijuana. That's pretty clever, I guess. But you know, I believe that that Ronald Reagan, who said the country cannot control its borders, ceases to be a country, and Emma Lazarus said, "Give me your tired, your poor, those that want to come here." You know, I live my land beside the golden door. I believe that those two things are entirely compatible. I believe America is the depot of freedom. I believe that we're the place that everyone wants to come, and as long as people come here legally, under our rules, they should be welcome. If we allow people to come here illegally and don't enforce our laws, what we do is we allow them to jump in front of someone that is trying to come here illegally. And it's a fundamental injustice, and it actually diminishes the rule of law, which is one of the things we had that little unpleasantness about with England. You know, they thought that the king should have total control, that the human rights should be in human hands. And we believe that it should be written down, and that the janitor and the senator should have equal rights under the law. And so it's very important that we protect the law. And I hope that gives you an overview.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Congressman.
Sir.
My name is Ken Jackson. I was a teacher in California for many years, and I worked for Congressman Bob Dornan in 1980 for a year. And I was also a Marine in California. My main concern has been that these bills, the House bills, have been written vague, ambiguous, complex, legal, details left out so changes can be made down the road. And I'm kind of, we did get the details in the last few weeks. We've got the detail in these town halls, and people are speaking up, and there's been a call to action too on this. So we've had those things in the town hall. I'm concerned when you go back to Washington, the Finance Committee, and when you put the conference in the House and Senate together, that it's going to be the same thing. That we're not going to get the details, and maybe you can talk to that and explain how we can. You'll probably try to get the details up when they put all this together. So how do we get the details again?
Well, let me try. Let me just say, very openly admit to you that I've been frustrated beyond words with this idea of being handed a bill like this. We had one on the stimulus that was handed to us. It was 1,100 pages long, and they passed it in the middle of about midnight, and they gave it to us to vote on at 8 o'clock the next morning. And